Manipulative language is a type of communication that is often used to influence or control others through indirect or deceptive means. It is a common tactic used by individuals who want to assert their power, influence, or authority over others. While it may be tempting to use manipulative language to get what you want, it can ultimately harm relationships and cause mistrust. In this video, we will examine the nature of manipulative language, common examples, and why it is important to avoid it in communication. Manipulative language often takes the form of indirect suggestions or requests, veiled threats, or false compliments. For example, someone might say, "I'm not trying to control you," but followed by a suggestion or request that they hope the listener will comply with. This type of language is intended to mislead the listener into thinking that the speaker is not trying to manipulate them, when in fact they are. Another example of manipulative language is the use of guilt trips, such as "I've done so much for you and this is the thanks I get." This type of language is intended to make the listener feel guilty for not complying with the speaker's request. The use of manipulative language can have serious consequences for relationships. It can undermine trust and create feelings of anger, frustration, and resentment. When someone feels that they have been manipulated, they may become defensive, resistant, or hostile, which can lead to conflict and damage the relationship. Moreover, the use of manipulative language can create a power imbalance, where the speaker has an unfair advantage over the listener. This can make it difficult for the listener to assert their own needs and desires, leading to feelings of helplessness and frustration. In order to avoid manipulative language, it is important to be clear and direct in communication. Instead of using indirect suggestions or requests, use I statements to express your own feelings and needs. For example, instead of saying "I don't want you to be late again," say "I feel frustrated when you are late." This approach is more honest and respectful, and allows the listener to respond more openly and authentically. In addition to being clear and direct, it is also important to be aware of common manipulative language tactics. Some of the most common tactics include: 1. Guilt tripping. This tactic is used to make the listener feel guilty for not complying with the speaker's request. 2. Playing the victim. This tactic is used to evoke sympathy from the listener and to make them feel responsible for the speaker's problems. 3. Flattery or insincere compliments. This tactic is used to manipulate the listener into complying with the speaker's request. 4. Threats. This tactic is used to coerce the listener into complying with the speaker's request by implying negative consequences if they do not comply. It is important to recognize these tactics when you encounter them, so that you can resist them and avoid being manipulated. If you feel that someone is using manipulative language with you, it is important to assert your own needs and desires and to set boundaries that are comfortable for you. There is scientific evidence to support the idea that manipulative language can be harmful to relationships. Research has shown that individuals who use manipulative language are perceived as less trustworthy and are more likely to experience conflicts in their relationships. Additionally, studies have found that individuals who experience manipulation in their relationships are more likely to experience negative emotions, such as anger and frustration, and are less likely to feel satisfied with the relationship. In conclusion, manipulative language is a type of communication that is intended to influence or control others through indirect or deceptive means. It is important to avoid it in order to maintain healthy relationships and to build trust. By being clear and direct in communication and being aware of common manipulative language tactics, individuals can avoid using manipulative language and resist it when they encounter it. Ultimately, healthy communication is built on honesty, respect, and mutual understanding. By avoiding manipulative language and fostering clear and direct communication, individuals can build stronger, more fulfilling relationships with others.